How was practice today?
Very physical, very physical. You know, we actually upped the amount of reps over the past couple of days of what we do good on good, in order to make sure that again our technique and our fundamentals don't deteriorate as the season goes on. And they like it. You know, it draws out the competitive nature of our players, and we're challenging them, making sure that we have to eliminate the gap between the guys that are the first line guys and the guys that are the second line guys. Because yeah, there's always going to be some type of a separation there, but it can't be a big one. Whatever it is, it's got to be closed as the season goes on through drill work, through film study, through just repetition, right, and through just flat out desire to be great. And those are the points of emphasis of the week. At the same time, keeping our guys completely focused on our opponent, understanding the scheme that we're facing is very different than what we have seen. Certainly defensively, they do so much stuff to try to confuse you and create negative plays that you have to be on point, both in the passing game and the run game. But overall, pretty solid practice. Effort was good. I think we have more in us, and we're going to push our guys to give us more. And they understand that, and that makes it a good agreement.
Mario, I know Jalen Hall's not on the team right now, but he was arrested 2 nights ago. Is there any status of his availability with the program?
Well, he hasn't been on the roster, since for a pretty long time now. That we'll solidify it. We're moving on, and certainly it is what it is. But he hasn't been on the roster and hasn't been part of our team roster for quite some time now. And
Coach, do you think you guys have to do anything as a staff to keep the focus on this game and not look ahead to that Stanford game?
I think you have to be real about it. I think what happened is, somehow social media, took the approach of skipping past this game, and that's the kind of stuff that will always test you. But at the same time, if you're not real about it, if you're not real about the fact that social media and just the noise out there can have an effect on your players, I think it's like sticking your head in the sand and pretending that there's something that's not there. Because of what we've done in the summer, because of our approach to everything we do, I feel confident that we are focusing on this. I think when we watch film and we see some of the negative plays and the issues they created for Washington State, I think our guys understand that we have an opponent here that if we don't play our best football, that can have success against us. I think we also even understand, even more importantly, that we haven't played our best football yet. And we're trending upwards, and that trend has got to continue. That being said, we have a tremendous amount of respect for our opponent. We know they're coming in here fully motivated, ready to play, and we're coming in here fully motivated to play as well. And as long as we stay the course like that, by how we practice, and the way I guess not so much how, but the way we practice. And I know that might sound a little bit confusing, maybe it's my own crazy way of thinking it, but the way we fit our blocks, the way we strike blockers, the way we separate and shed guys, the way that we finish runs, the way we secure the football, the way we finish a drill, the way we run on and off the field, right? The way we practice should always take care of any of the outside elements. They shouldn't even exist.
Can you tell that from practice? Can you look and say, hey, these guys are dialed in and focused?
Yesterday was probably the most physical practice we've had for the season. And I think we started that way again as well. I thought towards the end it wasn't quite to the standard that we wanted. We were getting a pretty good amount of reps, and that's part of it. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are going to be extremely hard and extremely physical. Saturday always needs to be the reward, right? You need to be ready, you need to be prepared. And because of that, Tuesdays and Wednesdays for us is a heavy load with high intensity. And you see right after practice today, they're in there lifting. We lift heavy on Sundays, and we lift, I would say relatively heavy, not in terms of volume, but in terms of intensity on Wednesday following practice as well.
Mario, go ahead, Steve.
You got to look at your true freshman corners with Verone and Khalif. You got it out there a little bit, kind of getting them ready, figuring they may need to play some pretty big roles as this thing goes on.
I think so. I mean, both those guys are, they've got good skill sets. Very different. Verone is quick. He's athletic. He's fast. Really, really quick feet. I mean, he's on you in a hurry. And Khalif is a longer body type. That has good feet and good hips as well. Both these guys can speed turn. They have catch-up speed. They have closing speed. They can redirect well. They could open their hips and make tackles in space. And, we've got to, I told a lot of these guys it's a little bit different here because of our lack of depth. We got to almost bypass your freshman year. We have to make you a sophomore, throughout the course of the summer camp and our first couple of games. So they're totally into it. They work at it. They're imperfect, but they're willing and they're driven to learn. So we're pretty content with their progress so far.
Did you not anticipate either of those guys redshirting?
No, they won't. Those guys are going to be playing football for us all year. Yes, sir.
When you talk about the twos closing the gap with the ones, how much of that is in practice? How much of that is taking advantage of the game reps they do get?
Both. It starts in practice. And always when a guy goes to a game, if it's the first time the lights come on, usually there's a little bit of a hiccup there, right? There's a little bit of reverting to some of the stuff that maybe we don't want to see. But, you know, overall, I thought that the guys that got to play in the game, when we got to the fourth quarter, looked different than we looked in the third quarter. Like they settled in, they started feeling, I wouldn't say comfortable, that's not the word. They felt more, they played with more confidence. You know, guys were coming out of their hips, they were coming out of their stances, they were playing with better pad level. I use the word strike a lot because you could tell, right? You could tell in pre-practice, you could tell in pre-game, you could tell in our practice when we go to team. If you're striking, the practice sounds different. You could close your eyes and you could hear, again, the collisions, you could hear the physicality. You know that your guys are playing with the intensity that you wanted to play with. So when we say that, yes, it's got to show in practice to gain trust, because this is still not going to be play a guy because of a popularity contest or because they've been here or because they came in very heralded. They're going to play because they've earned it. And earning means that we have to trust them because the other 10 guys on the field with them have to trust them as well.
Mario, are you aware that Marcus Arroyo was quarterback last time Oregon played in San Jose State?
Well, I mean, I kind of felt like I should leak a certain video clip of him in a play. I wouldn't do that to our own coaches because Lord knows I'm sure he could find a clip on me not doing it the right way back in my days in college. So, yes, I do know that. You know, credit to Marcus, man. This guy's an organized, detailed, just a team guy. This guy's a team guy. I know that every game means a lot to him. I think when you play against your alma mater, there's always something there. There's always something special. So. Yeah, but you guys saw the clip already, right?
Yeah, has Justin seen the pick six?
Oh, man, I'm staying away from that, man. To me, it was more, you know, the old school Dan Marino foot out under center that he had going, and I'm like, man, that ball went that way. I didn't see the standard of effort in chasing down the guy with the interception. That's what I didn't see, and that's what bothered me, you know, as a coach. So, but maybe he and I'll do some sprints together tomorrow after practice.
All right, you've talked about setting the standard for how you guys practice. 3 weeks in, your 2 biggest days of practice this week are done. How do you feel like you guys have progressed since the start of
That's a great question. I think every week has gotten better. I think week 1, there was some hesitation. It's like, wow, we're doing this on Tuesday and Wednesday. Oh, yeah. No, that's the way it looks like, you know. There's a physicality to it. And, you know, as the year goes on, you taper off some things when you have to. We're not looking to beat up our bodies and really just blindly go out there and just do stuff because it sounds good. There's a plan, you know, and the plan is we have the GPS and the catapult system that tracks mileage, it tracks impact, it tracks number of reps and yardage at a certain mile per hour. So, you know, if you're running fast enough, if you're not, if you're running too many reps at too high of a speed. So, you know, it's we've seen it progress. We're going to continue pushing the physicality and the intensity behind it. And we expect it to improve every single week. You know, our guys have learned how to practice hard and stay up. And that's the biggest key to the whole thing. If we could stay on our feet, not roll up on each other, not have guys injured ankles, knees because guys are on the ground, we could get significantly better. And credit to the scout team. We haven't given those guys enough credit. You know, between Thomas Ahrens and Matt Neuer, Steve Field, these guys did a great job recruiting a lot of guys that have walked onto our program that are going to have a chance to play eventually, but are right now doing a great deal serving as the developmental squad, the service team. And they're kicking butt, man. They really are. They've done a great job for us. They've prepared us for 2 weeks in a row, and they take every rep in practice, so credit to them.
With the big games that come, obviously that kind of maybe amps guys up more. Does it maybe help you guys as a staff emphasize what the standard is when, no offense to the opponents you've played so far, you really have to hammer that home in practice? Yeah,
well, the part that gets hammered home philosophically for us, and our players will tell you, is that the way we play has nothing to do with who we play. I mean, to me, the biggest mistake we could make is, okay, all of a sudden in a few weeks down the road, we're playing in conference. Okay, now we're going to change the way we practice. No way. That ain't happening. To me, then you're the foundation of your program and your discipline, your fundamentals, the philosophy. Now you're picking and choosing when to be your best. And we're not going to pick and choose when we're going to be. We're going to be our best on every single occasion and opportunity that we have. And that's the best way I could describe it.
And there's been kind of a rotation at safety so far this year. What have you seen out of that position group?
Those guys are good football players, and they deserve to play. And I know that it's competitive. I think it's good that they all play. They've earned the right to play. they've tackled well. This past game, they tackled a lot better than in game number 1. I know we got beat for that one ball. The tight end got behind us and made a big play on us, but I think we ran the alley well when we had to play the flat and be the, the run support player. I think we played the middle of the field well. I think we played off the hashes well. I think we have a very good grasp of our scheme. And I think the fact that you can slide Ugo over there at nickel and some of the things he's done, bringing pressure, some of the things he's done in coverage and putting him on some of the best receivers and having, a couple other guys that can still play the safety position. I think we've created some good flexibility there.
Coach, Shane Lemieux's been grading out as one of the best left guards in the country so far in these first 2 games. Talk about his improvement from last year to this year.
Yeah, well, everyone knows I love that guy. He plays football the way it's meant to be played. Guy's a relentless competitor who's, like, his threshold for work is insane. Like, we track how much of a workload a guy has, and it measures what you do. So if your effort levels go higher, so do your numbers. And this guy is God, what's the craziest animal? This guy's got Jurassic Park-like numbers. If you put a monitor on one of those animals out there, that's what he has. He is relentless as a competitor. He's a professional about how he approaches the week, the way he prepares, the way he watches film, the way he practices, the way he takes care of his body, the way he rounds up younger guys and teaches them and mentors them. I mean, this guy he's what you want. He's what you want your guys to be all the time. But when you look at him and Jake Hansen and a guy that, boy, I wish he would get his due, Calvin Throckmorton, because, I mean, that's might be the most versatile player in college right now. Guy can play all 5 positions. You're looking at 3 guys, man, that are just, they're different, and they affect the entire team because of the way they conduct themselves on a daily basis.
Coach, a lot of people wondering about Tyler or Braxton as a backup. Would you consider playing, since a lot of other players get to play against the first team of the other opponent, getting them into the game while, the defense, the other team is still in the first team?
That's always a consideration, no question about it. And there are times when the past 2 games where we thought about it. We didn't set it as a plan because you know how that goes. If you set it as a plan, then there's a point of no return and you got to go with it. There were certain things that we felt we needed to accomplish in the last 2 games before we put those guys in, so we rolled with Justin. But certainly that's a thought and something that we certainly consider.
Going back to Shane, is the bear accurate?
Is the what?
Is the bear on his arm accurate?
The bear on his arm accurate? I don't know if the bear does him justice. This guy is. I swear, the best thing you can do is you ought to track this guy all day. You ought to track him for a week. This guy's besides being an exceptional player, the guy's an exceptional human being. He's an exceptional teammate, but he is a hardcore offensive lineman. Shane Lemieux is going to come off the ball. He's going to strike you with tremendous power. He's going to chase you up and down the field relentlessly. He's going to pester you to the echo of the whistle. And then when the whistle blows, he's going to cut lined up and come and do it again. And he's going to do it for every snap, for every single game. So, again, an honor to have him on this football team.
How have you seen Brian Addison come along the last couple of weeks here?
You know what? Yeah, obviously he caught his first pass. That was great to see. You got to understand, guys, when you get dropped off like the day before camp at a place where you haven't had a chance to train with the guys, see what the playbook looks like, it's like, what's that show? Naked and Afraid. They drop you off in the middle of nowhere, It's got to be as terrifying as that, right? Well, he came in here, and the good thing is he knew a lot of guys. He knew a lot of the guys on our team, and because of that, the relationships help him become more comfortable with the surroundings. He's done a really good job learning the playbook, and he is increasing his rep count. Last game was his first catch. We expect him to become more and more of a part of the offense, but I think we all see he's got really high potential. I mean, he's long, he's athletic, he could run, he's got great balance and body control. His catch radius is humongous. You've seen how tall he is, and the fact that he uses his body well, not only in the running by guys, but in the intermediate passing game and positioning himself to box out defenders, some of those hook routes, spout routes, and whatnot. He's been a pretty impressive